I'm not sure you can call this summer still, but in any event, we're in August. I guess it's the tail end of summer, and so we're probably still thinking stuff around staying lean or getting lean in terms of our bodies. So I thought that I'd do a two-part take on intermittent fasting specifically for women, because I did a post on the 30th of June for men. It's the ladies' turn. So this will be in two parts. I wanted to start by saying that intermittent fasting really is just it's temporary hunger, and it's about when you eat. It's not about what you eat. So it's very much about the timing of your meals or the timing of the calorie intake. And there are lots of different ways that you can fast. But in essence, the idea with fasting is that we are trying to empty the liver and the muscle cells of fuel, so that in turn the body will access stored fatty acids and convert those into ketones to be used as a source of fuel. So it's a very nice concept. It's a great concept, in fact. If you are already quite lean and you're very active, you want to keep your fasts short. So I would say no more than about 12 hours. And you need to be aware that if you are thinking about falling pregnant anytime soon, you won't necessarily want to do intermittent fasting because it downregulates female hormones, okay, fertility hormones specifically. So not a good idea if you are thinking about falling pregnant. The other thing to note is that some experts are very much against fasting for women. So there are a number of people out there who are strongly advocate not fasting as females because we're so sensitive to hormonal fluctuations, much more sensitive than men are, so we have to be much more cautious. But in particular, there are those who oppose it on the grounds of exercising in a fasted state, in particular in the mornings. And this is because in the mornings our cortisol levels are high already, and then if you're going to put exercise on top of that, what you're going to do is raise cortisol levels even more, or you're going to be required to have more cortisol. Now, if you're already naturally high, you're going to have to steal sex hormones to convert that into cortisol so that you can match the exercise coming in, or the impact of the activity. And so we know that when cortisol levels are particularly high in the body, it can lead to fat storage. So you have to test this. And for me personally, it's worked very well for me. I've probably fasted now for maybe a decade. Always in the morning. I've always exercised on an empty stomach, and I've done quite well on it. But that's not to say that you'll do very well on it, just that I have. You might do very well, you might not at all. So you have to be open to testing it and seeing how you feel. If you feel worse for it, you take it out. If you feel better for it, then great. Okay. And then in terms of the benefits afforded, I'm going to actually read them because there's so many. And you can check out that video, as I mentioned, on the 30th of June. But just in short, and excuse me reading, we've got reduced fat mass, increased energy, improved mental clarity, cognition and memory, increased insulin sensitivity, which decreases the risk of diabetes. You also got an increase in the cell stress response, which is very useful. It improves immunity and heart health. We've got increase in muscle mass, although some will argue that in females it does the opposite. And apart from this, it also reduces oxidative stress, inflammation, increases neurotropic growth factor, which protects us from neurodegenerative diseases, and that's through an ability to withstand neurological stress. So there are an enormous number of benefits afforded us by doing intermittent fasting. What we'll cover in the next video is what your options are, the protocol that I follow personally. So we'll cover a lot more ground around those issues. So keep your eyes peeled, and until next time, take care.